So it was a good week last week for Reform UK, with Richard Tice and Nigel Farage having to defend some of the comments that their less savoury people had made in public. It's difficult to imagine people actually making less savoury comments than Nigel Farage and Richard Tice, but there you are. Somebody actually broke the bar. They managed to limbo lower than an ant's belly.
Richard, your reaction to this, this reporting, to this scandal, and indeed what you think Channel 4 should do, what you think Reform UK should do?
Good afternoon. Well, I too, Peter, am hurt and angry because...
Let's just be perfectly clear here. He's hurt and angry because you found out, because his party got caught out, because what is the motivation of the Reform Party? Fill in the blank there.
This is a massive, massive stitch-up by Channel 4, and the circumstances are truly extraordinary.
Now, you get a lot of this from right-wingers, in fact from politics in general, where people say it wasn't my fault, it was somebody else's fault, it's a different company, I wasn't responsible, it was nothing to do with me, can I have the cheque please? That's more or less the modern mantra of society, taking the cheque, blaming somebody else, running off with the money.
Mr. Parker is an actor by profession who lied on the film and said that he was a property developer.
Maybe he's got a prominent part as a property developer. Let's face it, there's plenty of prominent parts in Reform.
This gentleman, he's not told the truth. He told the Daily Telegraph this morning that he was not an actor. He is an actor. This man is a compulsive liar.
Which is a great feature to have. Maybe you should get him on the board of directors.
And it has to be called out. What Channel 4's statement does not say is that actually they bought this filming from a production company called Lee Sorrell Media. So it's very easy for their measly-mouthed words to say they didn't pay him. Well, that's true. They paid the production company. This is a production company that specialises in undercover filming. It's basically all they do.
Notice how Tice is placing all the onus of responsibility on the production company and not on the fact that they didn't vet their candidates, they didn't look at their candidates, they more than likely didn't look at the CV. Right, you're a moron, you can come and knock on some doors for us.
So your contention appears to be, well it is, that this is a total stitch-up, that this is manufactured, and this guy is an actor in the pay, you allege, of a production company which then sold the footage to Channel 4. Is it not possible, maybe this is outside the realms of possibility, but let me ask the question anyway, is it not possible that this person is an actor anyway, did not want it to be revealed that he was an actor, was a volunteer and didn't know about the secret filming? Because he has not said at any point, I didn't say that, it's a stitch-up, I'm involved in secret filming in any way. Maybe he wouldn't say that anyway, but your contention is that this is gutter journalism and this is actually electoral interference.
I'm sorry, Peter. The series of coincidences are just too extreme.
Okay.
Seriously? And let me just put something else. There are about 50 to 100 volunteers on the likely day in question. What an extraordinary coincidence that this gentleman is in a car with those couple of undercover filmers, in a car of 3 or 4 people out of 50 to 100 volunteers. That seems a bit of a strange coincidence to me, Peter.
Okay.
Bit of a coincidence that he's found filming this stuff in that car.
Could be a coincidence. I mean, it's a bit of a long shot, but it could be a coincidence. It might also be, the alternative view is that everyone in Reform speaks like that when they think there's nobody watching.
Can I ask you about George Jones, who is someone who is well known, perhaps not to you, but certainly to Nigel Farage and to people not just in Reform UK, but also in UKIP previously and the Brexit Party previously. I'm not saying you necessarily personally have a relationship with this person, but he has been around Nigel Farage and his politics for some time. He made a series of comments that I'm sure you would condemn. That wasn't manufactured, or was it? What do you think?
Correct. I do totally condemn the totally inappropriate language used by Mr. Jones, who is an unpaid volunteer, but in a sense, what he said was inappropriate.
Whether he may be an unpaid volunteer, Richard, but I know
whether he was, it was completely wrong, and he has gone. That is the simple fact of it. Totally inappropriate, totally offensive. Whether he was sober or drunk, it doesn't matter. That is the reality.
But you've got to remember, Tice has to say that. Tice has to dismiss these comments. He has to disagree with them. He has to condemn them. What else can he do? Yeah, I totally agree with your racist, misogynistic, homophobic comments. I back them all away. I'm just sorry you found out. That's the alternative. Imagine the furore if he said that. Unfortunately, I think it would embolden his base.
If the guy is an expert in filming covertly or an expert in dealing with secret filming, there must have been someone filming him. So you're
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point.
Yeah.
This is the point is there were at least one, if not two other people in the car when the appalling things were said with Mr. Parker, filming and with audio the things that were said.
Okay.
And my contention is this was a complete stitch up. They knew each other. It was all totally organised. This is an actor. This is Peter. This is an actor using his acting voice.
But it can't have been even if we accept every single thing that you're saying, Richard, it can't have been a complete stitch up, can it? Because George Jones, who is a long-serving activist within,
I've said that, Peter, but it's a wholly separate point. Okay.
All right. Well, let's deal with another point.
Allegations are a total stitch up.
Okay. And there we see it again, the right-wing way. Oh, it wasn't my fault. Somebody else did it. It's not my fault. I'm in charge of things, but somebody underneath me made a decision without my knowledge. It's always the same thing. It's always blaming somebody else when you're shown up or revealed, or somebody makes an expose of what a horrible person you actually are or what your organisation is. I'm not saying Richard Tice is necessarily a horrible person. I'm not saying his organisation is particularly horrible. There are worse organisations around. But to be fair, there's not many.
Look, some candidates have said some inappropriate things, and all of that will be investigated after the election. We employed a vetting company. They took our money, over £100,000. They completely let us down. They took all our data. They did the work, and then guess what? They gave it to someone else.
Okay,
they didn't give it to us. So I mean, this is just extraordinary.
So this candidate, let me just say, Richard, so this candidate who appears to still be your candidate in Southend East and Rochford talked about slaughtering migrants arriving on small boats and having their families taken out. If George Jones is gone for what he said, why is Leslie Lilly still your candidate?
But these allegations are all going to be looked at after the election.
After the election. So people may still vote for these candidates up until the election based on these ridiculous and abhorrent views they've expressed, and yet you're not going to do anything till after the election, just in case they manage to swing a vote. Nice work, Lou.
And what Mr. Lilly said was completely inappropriate. We completely know. Everyone knows that.
But if it's inappropriate, why is he still your candidate? Why not withdraw support from him, suspend him from the party? If you're saying it's inappropriate, why is he still in the tent?
Look, we're looking at this. All of this, as I say, is being investigated.
But you've looked at it with George Jones and you've got rid of him. So why can't you do that with Leslie Lilly?
We're looking at all of these things, Peter, but lots of things have been suggested.
But it seems to happen quickly with some people and not quickly with other people.
Because some things allegations are made to us, Peter, and they turn out not to be true. I had a series of allegations made about a candidate to me by a very senior journalist live on air, where actually they'd misrepresented the tweet, taken out a sentence so that the context of it was completely different from what was suggested.
So on his Facebook account, Leslie Lilly is alleged to have written in a post on June 2020, he commented on the arrival of a small boat in Dover. This is my point. But why can't you check? Why can't you check, Richard? That's fine, Peter, but why can't you check? I hope I'm near one of... hold on.
Peter, it's all alleged, and they will all be investigated.
But why can't you do it quickly? Why can't you just look on his Facebook and do this? It would take me 10 minutes to do it, and I'm not particularly technically literate. And then you could decide what you wanted to do with Leslie Lilly. Either he wrote it or he didn't write it. Yes or no. He can either be in your party or not in your party.
All of that is being looked at. With lots of allegations.
Making a statement that you could use the migrant boats basically for target practice for army cadets is that where we are as a country? And people are saying that's okay. I don't know there's nothing more I can say to that level of inhumanity and lack of compassion. Maybe that's where society's going. We're going to become totally self-absorbed, and if it doesn't affect us, it's okay. I mean, we've been like that for a few years with welfare and social care. I don't see why it shouldn't infect other areas like immigration. Anyway, they've got tons of allegations. You just heard him say tons of allegations. A veritable shed load. No wonder they've got no time to actually campaign. It's only dealing with complaints. That was Richard Tice of Reform UK, a limited company posing as a political party and taking donations from people that they will never see the like of again.